Anywhere nationally, the polls show President Trump up either 1 or 2 points, down 1 or 2 points, even. It all is around that same margin of error. They tell you it's equal. But I believe the electorate has changed. The pollster Mark Mitchell believes the electorate has changed as well, which is why he doesn't think that his polls are right. Now, this poll came out yesterday. This is an Atlas poll, okay? Atlas Intel. And it shows President Trump up in every single swing state out there, okay? Arizona, 51-46. Georgia, 49-48. Michigan, 49-48. Minnesota. Minnesota has Harris up, but just by 2 points. Nevada, 50-47 Trump. North Carolina, 50-47 Trump. Pennsylvania, 49-48. Virginia has Harris up 51-45, but I do believe Virginia is winnable for President Trump. And Wisconsin has President Trump in the lead. That alone is stunning. So Michigan and Wisconsin, two very big ones. Obviously, Pennsylvania, very, very important. We'll get to Doug Mastriano's interview as well, talk about why he's hopeful that President Trump will win in Pennsylvania. Remember Doug Mastriano, the state senator who was instrumental in election integrity, says they didn't get as far as he wanted to go, but he's seeing signs that they're in a good spot in Pennsylvania. All right, so with that, though, I want to get to Mark Mitchell. This was the interview I did on Real America's Voice. It's a very important interview because Mark Mitchell, a highly respected pollster, Rasmussen's one of the few that normally gets it right, dumping on his own polls. All right, here it is.
Yeah, good to be back. And I'd absolutely love to take this opportunity to dump on my own state polling because I do think that Trump is going to outperform every single number that you put up there. And I can get into a little bit of the inside baseball, but basically what's happening is there's a major political realignment now. And whether you support Trump or Biden or Harris is a bigger deal than the actual party. And so it's made it very hard to figure out how to weight the electorate correctly. And one of the things we've been looking for is people that voted for Biden but are now voting for Trump. And in my opinion, the right call for this election season was for us to weight by something called the recalled vote, where we ask people in 2020, who'd you vote for? And then we make sure our sample corrects for that. A lot of pollsters were not doing that, and they're oversampling Biden supporters. The problem with that is it really kind of crushes any signal that you would see of Democrats who are just demoralized, low propensity voters who haven't voted yet, or all of a sudden for the first time are going to vote Trump, or first-time voters that have never been polled before. They're breaking Trump more than ever before. And so I think that's all going to happen, because if you look at North Carolina, Donald Trump won that by 1.5 points 4 years ago, and now our polls say 2 or 3%. But the thing is that the national polling has moved 6 or 7 points to the right since then. So we're in this really weird situation where the state polling doesn't match the national popular vote polling, and one of them is going to be right and one of them is going to be wrong. And my bet right now is that the state polling, again, like it has been for the last 2 cycles, is way too left. And Donald Trump is probably going to sweep all the battlefields, because right now in the Real Clear Politics aggregate, they're roughly tied to maybe Trump up as much as 2 points.
So this is, in my opinion, great news for President Trump, obviously. One of the reasons I have you on, Mark Mitchell, is I respect your opinion and Rasmussen's polling here. I don't respect a lot of the polling outlets out there. There are others that I certainly do, but I respect this, so I'm happy about this. I feel like one of the problems in 2016 was President Trump pulled out a lot of new voters. So when you use this term likely voters, you're sampling people that you know are likely to vote. You don't sample people that you don't know were going to vote. I feel like we're in that cycle again, that there may be a lot of voters that we don't know even existed out there that are coming out to vote for President Trump.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, polling is hard, and it's never, ever 100% accurate, but it can be accurate. You get any data feed and you can correct it over time and learn from your mistakes and hone in on the right answer. The problem is, in 2016, Republicans had never seen anything like Donald Trump. And now in 2024, nobody has really ever seen a presidency like Joe Biden's, except maybe going back to the Carter administration, which is why I think a lot of people are drawing parallels to 1980. But I'll be the first to say that I think the early voting data absolutely confirms that a lot of people changed their minds, but a lot of people, new people, are crawling over broken glass to vote for Donald Trump in a way that, again, isn't reflected in the polls and really might signal an early end to election night on Tuesday.
Well, a lot of people are saying that would be great. We swamp the vote. We get enough states in. This could be called on Tuesday. I still don't trust the Democrats in any way, so I'm very concerned about that. But my last question for you, Mark, when you talk about these swing states, 7 of them say, how do you see President Trump doing? Does he take 4 or 5 of them? Does he take all of them? Where are you at with this?
I mean, if you took our numbers and said no toss-ups, he wins them all except Michigan, and he actually gets really close in Virginia and New Hampshire. We have him down 2 in Virginia and down 1 in New Hampshire. But again, here's the thing. I think there's a million reasons all the state polling's to left, including mine, in a way that listen, Trump's up like 200,000 votes in Arizona. And we just polled Arizona. And among people who say they're going to vote on election day, Donald Trump is still up like basically almost double digits. So I think the Republicans have.
Go ahead, just finish that.
No, I think everybody's saying that there's this cannibalization of the election day vote, and that is not what I've found in every single state poll I've done this week. We've done 12 states, and in every single one, Republicans have a lot of gas in the tank.
All right, lastly, I suppose the last one's going to be last, but this is important too. Carrie Lake, I'm polling for her hard in Arizona. We would really help us. If President Trump is up this big in Arizona, does that help her? Because the polling shows her way behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a tough one. And there's a lot going on in polling that I don't want to get into all the details, but there's reasons to think that the Republican Senate candidates are doing better than the actual polling shows. Now, listen, we do have some winning. We have McCormick basically tied, Hovde up 1 point. So there are going to definitely be Republican pickups. But Carrie Lake, we had down 2 points once and then down 4 points the most recent time. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people answering polls maybe don't even know what party they are, and that Carrie Lake might benefit from some straight ticket pickup effect. And if Trump outperforms by a point or two, it's probably her race.
Mark Mitchell, you're great, man. I hope everything you say comes out to be true. And I appreciate you coming on a Friday evening. It is crunch time. It's crunch time for you guys as well. And we appreciate you and Rasmussen, and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks so much. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. All right, folks, all of this spells uncertainty. So here's what I'd like you to do. Protect yourself with gold today by texting America. All right, folks. So that is the interview with Mark Mitchell that is so important when you think about what is going on here. When you think about that pollsters, and a pollster who normally gets it right, who has President Trump up, is saying he believes his polls are wrong, that President Trump is even up bigger, which would then lead me to believe that my assessment that President Trump is up 10 to 15 points is correct. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't go vote.